Okay, so the Midnight Walk is a game that came out on the 8th of May of this year. And this is a game that is like a horror game in the style of like claymation. And in this game you meet a creature called Potboy. And it is your objective to walk the Midnight Walk and bring him all the way to Moon Mountain. But during that walk, you get sidetracked a couple of times and have to go through smaller stories throughout your walk. So yeah, that is pretty much everything I'm going to talk about the story for this game, since I'm not going to be spoiling this game in this video. But yeah, do I think this game is good or do I think it's bad? But yeah, let's just get on to the review itself. So first, I want to talk about the gameplay, since the gameplay is usually the most important thing for me in a video game. And I mean, there isn't too much to the gameplay. There's not really that many unique mechanics, but I do think it's serviceable for what this game is. Like, a lot of the game is just walking, but the visuals make the walking a lot better. I'm not going to go too much into the visuals now, I'm going to save that for later on in the video. But yeah, there are also like a lot of enemies. And I mean, the enemies are cool. Like, they're not the greatest enemies I've ever seen, but they are serviceable for this game. And they also got some pretty unique designs, which I like. And there are also a lot of puzzles. And the puzzles are probably the most enjoyable part of like the gameplay, because the puzzles are pretty satisfying, honestly. Like, they are not hard. These are not hard puzzles at all. But that's not a point against the game. Like, a game doesn't have to have hard puzzles. And in video games, I would much rather have easier puzzles over like super hard and confusing puzzles. And also, this isn't really related to the gameplay, but I just don't really know where else to fit it in. But you go through like different stories in this game, and they're all really good, and some of them can be pretty heartwarming and beautiful. But now I just wanted to go over the thing I probably have the most to say about with this game, and that is the graphics. So usually in a video game, I don't care that much about the graphics. Like, yeah, I want the game to look good at least. But for me, the gameplay is most of the time the most important part of a game. The reason I was so excited for this game was because of the graphics. And the graphics does not disappoint with this game. This game is beautiful. Honestly, this might be the most beautiful game I've ever played, because I absolutely love the art style. I like how dark it is. I really like how the darkness makes the world feel, because this world feels really good and really interesting. Like, this world is super interesting. I just want to know so much lore about this world, because there's so much about this world that I love. But of course, the thing I like the most about the graphics is of course like the claymation style, because I love claymation. And like, this game emulates that look so well. Like, all of the animations totally feel like claymation. And all of the models and the world as well just feels like something you would see in a claymation movie. And that is something I love. Like, this game is just visually beautiful. Like I said this earlier in the video, but this is probably the most beautiful game I have ever played. Like, just from the graphics alone, it feels like they poured their hearts and souls into this game. The graphics just makes this game feel so good, because one thing I also like about games are like the vibes, and this game's vibes are off the charts. These are some amazing vibes. Like, I love claymation, but also combining that with like the darker aesthetics, because like this world is really something else. Yeah, this game is just so beautiful to look at, honestly. I could look at it all day. But yeah, let's move over to the horror, since this is a horror game. So the horror in this game, it's not the most scary horror game I've played, but I feel like it has some like creepy moments. Like, there are some eyes that show up every now and then, and they can be a bit creepy. And also there are some enemies that are a little unnerving and can be a little scary. But yeah, I don't actually have that much to say about the horror. Like, yeah, it is a horror game, but I did not come for the horror. I came for the aesthetics and like the art style of this game. But yeah, the horror is serviceable. It works for what it is. But now let's talk about some of the characters. So this game has a lot of characters, but not that many main characters. So we have like Potboy, which I love. I love this little dude. He's just so cute. He reminds me a lot of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. Like, he makes some pretty similar noises. He has kind of a similar face with like the big smile. Like, his smile reminds me of Stitch's smile. But yeah, Potboy is honestly so adorable. And I just started to love Potboy more and more throughout my entire journey. And we also have another character called Housie, which is a house that just walks. And I love Housie as well. Housie doesn't say a single thing throughout the journey, but I still love them. And there are also some more minor characters which I don't really care that much about. I really like the Moonbird though. The Moonbird was cool. And also this is kind of relating to the characters, but this game has some excellent voice acting. I think the voice acting is really good in this game. Especially Moonbird. Moonbird's voice is just so cool. And also the soundtrack in this game is absolutely phenomenal. Like the soundtrack really helps to sell like the emotions and how beautiful this game is sometimes. And yeah, I probably have like some songs in the soundtrack or just maybe one song of the soundtrack in the background of this video. And yeah, this soundtrack is just phenomenal. Although some negatives I have with this game, they're really small, really nitpicky. Like they are very nitpicky, they're not an issue at all actually. But I did find some bugs, like you get stuck on nothing. It was kind of annoying sometimes, but it didn't ruin my experience at all. They're like so small and there were so little of these bugs that I just didn't really care that much honestly. But I just thought I'd mention it. So overall, I think the Midnight Walk is an absolutely phenomenal game. I have basically no negatives to say about this game, other than the bugs I said earlier, but other than that I can't really think of anything negative. Like I think the game was like at a perfect length. Like my playtime with this game was like 4.5 hours, and I think that's like the perfect length for this type of game. And this game also felt so unique. Like it's not like any game I've ever seen before. And as I mentioned earlier, the graphics are absolutely stunning and I absolutely love them. This is like maybe the most visually beautiful game I've ever played. And I also got a bit emotional at the end of the game. Not just the end of the game, but actually multiple points in this game. This game does a really good job in bringing out my emotions. Or maybe it's just because I am a bit emotional and get emotional a lot in like movies and video games. But yeah, I absolutely love this game. This is the best game I have played this year so far. I haven't played that many though, so my mind will probably be changed when I play more games from this year. But so far, this is my game of the year. But I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about the Midnight Walk? Let me know in the comments below. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye!